This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Thursday, August 27th, 2026. I'm Alex Brown. SK Hynix officially broke ground today on its more than $4 billion semiconductor facility in West Lafayette, a project expected to produce advanced memory chips used to power artificial intelligence. President and CEO Nu Jung Kwak.
Today, we begin a new journey shaping the future of AI. Here in Indiana, we will build the first HBM advanced packaging facility in the United States.
He said the company expects to begin volume production in 2029. The facility is set to ultimately employ about 1,000 people. Florida-based mail handling company Postal Center International, which spent about $8 million to open a mail processing center in Brownsburg just 2 years ago, is planning to close that facility and terminate 151 employees. In a notice to the state, the company attributed the closure to unforeseeable business circumstances. Employee layoffs are taking place between now and September 30th. The Hammond Board of Zoning Appeals this week approved plans for a $4 million redevelopment of the vacant Hotel LaSalle building in the city's downtown. Munster-based Moynihan Capital plans to transform the former hotel into a mixed-use building that will include 28 apartments and ground-floor retail space. An estimated timeline for construction was not provided. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Thanks for listening to this IBJ Media podcast. You're probably going to remember this ad. Do you know why? Podcast advertising works. 85% of listeners recalled hearing an ad during a podcast, and 70% of podcast listeners have acted after hearing an ad. So whether you're looking to be heard across the entire IBJ Media podcast network, sponsor one of our shows, or just start with a 30-second ad, IBJ Media can help. Contact advertise at ibj.com to learn more.
The Lafayette Redevelopment Commission this morning approved 2 tax abatement requests for Caterpillar's planned $890 million investment in its large engine center. The construction equipment manufacturer said in its application for the abatements that the project would help retain nearly 2,000 employees while modernizing the plant's operations. Lafayette Mayor Tony Rosworski expressed his excitement for the project, which follows a previously announced $725 million expansion that is expected to wrap up this year.
At $1.6 billion in total over the last several years, that is a significant investment for our community. And so we appreciate Caterpillar's willingness to do that and to continue that relationship and their belief in our community. We don't get these opportunities all the time for these kinds of dollar amounts. This really helps long term, keep that plant in this community and productive in this community. It shows Caterpillar's commitment to Lafayette.
The commission unanimously approved both tax abatement requests without comment. The proposals now head to the Lafayette City Council for consideration. A Purdue University-affiliated company has received another award from NASA to further develop a process to repurpose spacecraft components while they are in space. NASA awarded AnalysWift the 2-year, nearly $900,000 Phase 2 Small Business Technology Transfer Award to develop a robotic technology that welds and unwelds thermoplastic composite joints in space. The university said the idea is to aid in the assembly and disassembly of large truss structures used with communication antennas, solar arrays, telescope mirrors, and other components to limit the costs and challenges of launching such cargo into space. South Bend has secured $3.85 million in federal funding to study the possible relocation of Amtrak service from the city's current station west of downtown to the historic South Bend Union Station. The Federal Railroad Administration grant will cover 80% of the $4.81 million planning and development phase. Mayor James Mueller noted, however, that this is only the first part of a very long process.
If you're thinking about timeline, we're still years away from folks being able to board trains. This is something that the community has wanted for a long time. It's been in city plans for a long time, and now we're able to show progress and move toward finally realizing that goal for our community.
The work will examine what would be needed to restore passenger rail service to the city-owned station, including track and signal improvements, platform locations, accessibility, station amenities, and connections to local transportation. Get In podcast creator Nate Spangle is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now on the IBJ Media app or your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio On Demand.